This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good-looking friends. Archwell Fugazi Public Charity is at it again. So apparently, more tax dollar money is going towards these bullshit programs for equity and inclusion. Let me show you the latest grift here. For those that are not aware, the Welcome Project is an immigrant advocacy organization that helps immigrants have a voice within America. The immigrant crisis and the funds being allocated by the taxpayer for resettlement programs is the latest scam, hence the reason why we see all these NGOs coming out of nowhere like an Archwell. So listen to what Archwell had to say about their latest participation in this Welcome Project. They write, "The Welcome Project is dedicated to creating enriching and supportive programming for women who have recently resettled from Afghanistan. In Clarkston, Georgia, the initiative has collaborated with the Refugee Women's Network to foster unity and camaraderie among these women through a variety of outdoor activities, including hiking." The word salad continues. "This program offers participants invaluable opportunities to meet, connect, and build strength together. The Welcome Project has also ensured that the physical activities are accessible for all through All Terrain Georgia. Refugee Women's Network was able to provide an action track wheelchair empowering all Georgians to easily navigate through mud, water, sand, and snow. As a women-led organization, Refugee Women's Network has consistently discovered innovative ways to support female survivors of war, conflict, and displacement. Their efforts help these women overcome systemic barriers, paving the way for healthy, self-sufficient, and fulfilling lives. The Archwell Foundation Fugazi Public Charity proudly uplifts this vital work through the Welcome Project, reinforcing our commitment to building more inclusive and connected communities for women across the U.S." Did that tell you anything about what Archwell Fugazi Public Charity did to contribute to this so-called hiking outing that we're seeing here pictures of? No. When I look at this photo and the other photos that Archwell Fugazi Public Charity put up, how many Afghanis do you see being represented? I'm just curious. I mean, I'm seeing maybe possibly one or two in the photo. By now, as we've all come to learn, anything that Harry and Meghan say, touch, and do has a level of manipulation, and this write-up that was done is no exception. In the part where they say this Welcome Project has also ensured that the physical activities are accessible for all through All Terrain Georgia, Refugee Women's Network was able to provide an action track wheelchair. So when you're looking at this photo, you're thinking, wow, they funded and helped this woman be able to have this action track wheelchair that possibly belongs to the Refugee Women's Network in order to enjoy this activity with everyone else. Well, that's not the true story. I mean, if you read it on the surface and don't think about it, you think, wow, yeah, they are adding some value here. But guess what, folks? This accommodation is free, okay? It is a free service that is run by another nonprofit organization that helps people enjoy in general, not just excluding minorities and refugees and really discriminating against everyone else, Meghan. It's a free service provided by donations as well as funding from the Georgia government. So for them to say, oh, we're making it accessible for them to be able to hike. Okay, maybe they have connected people together and got this certification so they can learn and understand how to ride one of these mobilized wheelchairs, but they're not contributing any money to it. In fact, the most ridiculous thing in the taxpayer funding this hiking group is that all of this stuff that they are doing here is free. Going out to a public park and walking around. Sure, maybe they have costs for these little sticks to walk around with. How much do those sticks really cost? I count 6 in this picture. I mean, come on, man. Low end, you could get one of these sticks for $20. So we could assume 6 of those, if let's say this group provided them, cost them $120, $200 at best, okay? But other than that, there's no t-shirts, there's no water, there's no food, they're not providing sneakers or hiking gear. What is it that they're paying for? What is it that they're taking taxpayer money to do? Well, let's see. At least in this photo, they included Afghani women. Archwell Fugazi Public Charity didn't even try, let alone indicate that they were even a part of it. Anyhow, this is what the Women's Hiking Group is about. The Refugee Women's Network, RWN, in collaboration with the Georgia Conservancy, launched a women's hiking group in March of 2021 to facilitate healthy activity, community integration and inclusion, and environmental stewardship for a group of women survivors of war, conflict, and displacement. Well, I call bullshit. In March of 2021, we were at the height of the pandemic, so who was getting together to go hiking? Did they forget that we were all in lockdown as of March 2021? Meghan and Harry sat on Oprah, whined and bitched about how bad their life is, while so many people were dying at that time? America, this is where your taxpayer money is going. This hiking program is supposed to be promoting equity and inclusion by reducing barriers to participation in healthy outdoor activities that are free. This stuff is free for a diverse community that is traditionally underrepresented in the outdoors. Well, here's the thing. They're going outside. It's not like they had to hire security or they're in fear of their lives walking around, that they need extra resources. This is all free. Listen to how taxpayer money is being spent in this program. Through this community-based program, participants build confidence, develop a sense of belonging, and establish positive relationships with peers and community members within the natural spaces of their new Georgia home. Monthly hikes span Georgia's local, state, and national parks, gradually building the strength and confidence of participants to climb mountains. The program uplifts non-traditional voices by including experts from diverse backgrounds to demonstrate the different ways that immigrants, BIPOC, and women are actively engaging with Georgia's environment. I think the thing that truly grinds my gears about these programs is, putting aside wasting taxpayer money, is the fact that these programs do the exact opposite of what they're claiming it's supposed to do. So they're saying it's promoting inclusivity and equity, which is a complete lie. They're making it a point to discriminate. You're only including people of color as well as Afghan refugees or refugees in general. What about the white population? What about men? If we want to get them assimilated into community, then don't you think this should be open to all? To me, all this sounds like is it's a support group or club for women. Something that could be easily set up in Facebook in a group and schedule once a month, getting together, meeting at a certain point to go walk around in the park for free. Now, when you take a look at all the partners that Refugee Women's Network has supporting them, a lot of them receive a tremendous amount of government funding, to which that money then goes out to these community-based nonprofit organization partners, aka Archwell Fugazi Public Charity, of which those little NGOs collect that money, keep 95% of it, and then give 5% to bullshit like what we're seeing Archwell do here in uplifting this community, maybe possibly buying one hiking stick for someone. But my point is, do you understand how now, or see how our money is being stolen right from out under us? There are so many other programs that have outcomes, positive outcomes that can be measured. Mental health and confidence building of these refugees coming in here. Personally, I hate to sound cold, but I don't really care. These people already coming in have more benefits than struggling Americans. If they want mental health programs, they're already covered under this Medicaid for all or whatever free insurance that they have for healthcare. All these NGOs that focus on mental health, like Archwell Fugazi Public Charity, all have one thing in common. They're all grifting off the system. When you look at focusing on things such as mental health, things that can't be measured or are metric-based, you really have no idea the impact these organizations are truly making, aside from the word salad that they throw out to the public in their marketing. When you look at Archwell's statement here, show up, do good, we believe in the power of community as a transformative solution to our collective well-being. What the hell does that even mean? Seriously, they didn't even show up to support this last activity that they're so uplifting at the moment. And for all those that keep saying, oh, they're running out of money, no, they're not. Money is coming to them. They wouldn't be able to afford James Holt and pay him over $200,000 a year if money wasn't coming in. And that money is coming from the American taxpayer. This is the grift, folks. Trillions of American taxpayer dollars trickling down into NGOs like Archwell, Fugazi Public Charity, lining the pockets of people like Meghan and Harry, and wasting money on programs that don't benefit truly the community, as if, let's say, repairing the roads would benefit the community. Now you understand why these corrupt people are ride and die Biden? It's because of these policies and the money that's being thrown at stupidity. But it's really not stupidity, it's the grift. It truly is. And this is why we have these idiots backing and supporting 100% the destruction of America. And that's because there's money in it. It's the only reason. And I am grateful to Harry and Meghan for opening my eyes. If I can say one good thing about this couple, they've opened my eyes to the problem that we have with propaganda and how the media has manipulated and weaponized it against its own people. They've also opened my eyes to the corruption that not only we have in our government, but also the corruption that we have with these globalists and how they have been taking advantage of the middle class and taking our money. Now, the reason why I talk about Harry and Meghan is not because they're important or they have influence. It's because of what they represent. And essentially, when we look at the poster child for everything that's going wrong in this world and what the globalists represent and trying to do and are failing, Harry and Meghan, on a certain scale, do represent that. And it's easy to talk about it because they're so simplistic, if you understand what I mean. Like, by looking at their behavior and looking at the people that they're connected to in just starting out to be the so-called superpower, it's easier to track than looking at, let's say, a Bill Gates or, someone who has political power that can go after you. These people, because they're not being taken so seriously, are easier to focus on and study in order to understand what the heck is really going on in this world and how we need to stop it. Plus, Meghan's nonsense is so outrageous that it's entertaining. And I'll admit that. But what do you guys think? How do you feel about Archwell Fugazi Public Charity's, I want to say, PR announcement about supporting refugees going hiking? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
I was such a fraud.